Well, unlike some people, I actually try to earn my money. So I don't want to squeeze out like a video that's not really worth that much. So I will give you guys an extra little bit that I try to do for the channel members. But all right, so let's get to the context for those who don't know. But basically, Lara and Nora got into a screaming match, just constantly screaming at one another. And that was a lead up to her DOA confrontation. And we'll focus on that. But let me just get one thing out of the way. Whereas some of Nora's intense fans, I'll call them just intense. It's okay to be an intense fan. You know, I like Taylor Swift. I like Zack Snyder. I like many things. Kubrick, you go through the list. But boy, some of her fans in the comment section were just weird. So apparently they're berating Lara for saying the word Oto incorrectly. Because now Nora's the language expert. So this is a paraphrase, but I'm trying to get her words as close as possible, saying, you know, I think his name could be Odo. I can never really remember. Odo. 3 letters. You can't remember that? Your name is 4 letters. I give up with these people. So Lara can't get Odo's name. Odo is Odo. Oto. And Nora's like, to be fair, Oto could be Odo. I don't know, guys. It's like not like I'm a real cult expert or anything. Okay. So those are the 2 cult experts. Holy cow. Okay, but now let's get to the main juicy thing, which you're here for. So what happened? Well, DOA apparently was in the chat. And he said to Nora, you're lying. Please stop doing that. And you don't tell the queen. Stop lying, because if Nora stops lying, she'd have to stop talking. Let's be honest. So Nora didn't take too kindly to that. And so I'm trying to not create this trilogy that doesn't have to be here, but gosh darn it, Nora, you're not helping yourself. So she went through this whole Daniel Green, I will do a cease and desist, sir. You will no longer speak on Scientology, sir. I will get a judge and a lawyer, cease and desist. And every RO against you, sir. Fair warning. I'm not angry. Even though she was clearly over the top mad angry that Scott was ruining her Stalinist propaganda. I feel good about myself. Pity party. For that, he must be exiled from the kingdom. But let's just go through the ROs for a minute. And it's just like, this made no sense at all, especially with DOA, who's like the king of restraining orders. So does Nora not realize, first of all, restraining orders are not like candy. A judge will not just give it to you, right? There's a process. Guys, like DOA is not even, as far as I know, in the same state as Nora. What would be the point of a restraining order? Like, I've tried to avoid making physical remarks on Nora, but what delusion is she under? Does she think seriously that Zero Dark Tony or DOA, or I'm going to have to include myself, or other men talking about her want to meet her or touch her or be around her? I don't think so. They don't want to be in the same physical space that you do. I mean, the prospect of me meeting Nora or shaking her hand, I'll be like, no, I don't want to do that. So what would be the purpose of the restraining order? It would have literally no purpose. These men are not trying to be physically close to you. At all. At all. I can be critical of Aaron and his behavior towards Nora. I don't think Aaron secretly, oh God, every night I secretly want to, yes, go to Nora and touch her. No, he doesn't want to do that. So what would be the point of the restraint? Even if you got it, Nora, what would you do with the RO? I have this RO now, Scotty. What are you going to do now? Well, I don't think the RO would tell him to shut up about Scientology or you. A restraining order wouldn't do that. Like, it would have to be a special case of a restraining order. How would that even work in principle? I don't know. And if he's not physically close, a judge is going to be like, well, he's not trying to see you anyway. Why do you need the RO? I don't know, but she wants the RO. Also, does she not realize a cease and desist doesn't work like that? Yes, can you do a cease and desist? Yes. So I'm going to reference Daniel Green real quick. Daniel Green got into a tizzy because a former lover was talking about him and his, scandal. So Daniel, being the clever boy, was like, cease and desist! Stop speaking about me! And he got himself into a whole big mess because he didn't get the right lawyer. He didn't quite know what a lawyer is. So the lawyer was apparently more into medical stuff. It was just really strange and weird. Made a complete clown person of himself. Now, I'm not sticking up for Naomi King. She has credibility problems. Two things can be true. So Naomi King, whatever's going on with Miss King, okay, question marks. But the point is, can you use a cease and desist? And listen, I don't like really what Daniel was up to, but yes, in limited areas, you can use a cease and desist. However, a cease and desist has a limit. What? How? I don't even know where to begin, like the challenges that would happen. So you want DOA to cease and desist speaking about you. That a cease and desist does not do that. That's not what a cease. It would cover specific things. If like DOA said some lies about Nora that were really damaging, maybe. And again, I'm very skeptical of DOA, but like, what would the lies be? Like, she didn't say. She was just like, stop talking about me. A cease and desist is not going to do that. Like Naomi King, again, reference to Daniel, she can say Daniel's name. A judge cannot prevent her from doing that. How could he even do that? Like, Daniel's a very common name. Nora is a common name. How would they stop names from being said, from being spoken? You can't really block a name from being said. It's not how that works. That would just be a major dilemma. But apparently Nora thinks her name is like a sacred glory Buffy name. It's like glory. My name is a holy name. My name is a special sacred name. You cannot speak it without permission. No, a cease and desist will not do that. Also, a cease and desist will not stop someone talking about Scientology. Like, is she outing herself? Like, a judge will be like, but you're not even a Scientologist anymore. Are you? You don't identify. What are you talking about? Scientology is a research area. It's perfectly free. I don't need Nora's permission, nor does Aaron. And again, I don't like Aaron. Aaron doesn't need her permission to talk about Scientology. Or DOA. Like, that's not a thing, dummy. Like, again, I'll double check the law books, but what are you talking about? And like, I also find it hilarious. Like, let's say she's serious. Like, I will get a lawyer, sir, to stop you, sir. So you're willing to have a lawsuit against DOA, but you're not going to have a lawsuit against the church. Okay, that does not add up at all. That don't add up at all. So yeah, this is just cringe, and it's just so weird. She tried to make herself the victim. All he said was, just stop lying about me. That's it. He wasn't cursing. He wasn't insulting her. Wasn't even using any curse words. And Nora just went in this tirade full of cursing and swearing. And you're like, what are you getting angry about? I don't know. You're not invited here. You need to go now. You and Alonzo and the Osa. I am not crazy. I'm like, huh? It was like, and again, I do make money making fun of Nora, but I was like, this is just crazy cat. Like, nothing connected to one another. Like, what are you saying? I don't know. She was just angry. And I don't think it's honestly DOA. I guess it is just a collective frustration, and DOA is the target, but she's just been angry at a lot of people and just let it all out, but it didn't mean anything. So I guess maybe it's Claire Headley. Maybe Nora's fantasizing Claire Headley's trying to get into her bedroom and is like, no, Claire, I deny you my bodice. I will use my cease and desist and my restraining orders. Right, because Nora now is like the Gambino family. She has a couple of judges in her pocket. Right. Alrighty then, let's try to conclude this trilogy. And, well, we're probably not going to move on. That's going to get clipped. I found it hilarious that Nora clipped herself. You're not making yourself look good at all. So maybe she got some money out of it, but she looks really bad. She looks really bad in this whole controversy.